BOBcast.com.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Buffalo Brotherhood. This is BOBcast, episode 72. I am Ryan. Alongside me, as always, is
Mike,
who is just turning on the video. So if you're watching the video podcast, you just joined us too. You missed nothing.
I forgot to hit record. I was busy updating the Windows 10.
And basically setting everything up that you see before is. Across the table from me in a stunning Batman shirt is
Doug.
And our very special guest this evening is a return member of the Lodge, Mr. Jeff Hanser. Hi, Jeff. How's it going?
I prefer to go by Jeff Spider Marks.
Jeff Spider Marks. I forgot your internet alias. Is that your...
That's Spider with a Y.
Oh, with a Y.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it the...
Like the car?
Yes.
Isn't the car
Right.
spelled?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
The Mitsubishi. Don't see those anymore.
Yeah.
Should we? Okay, sorry.
No.
My wife had one of those.
Mitsubishi doesn't sell in the U.S. anymore, I just read recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
My phone was all... Okay. Yeah, my wife had one of those when we first got
I
together.
remember that.
That was half the reason why I got with my wife.
You're like, dang, check out that Eclipse Spider convertible.
Exactly. And then...
Like, man,
she sold it.
She's so fly.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. She'd be banging. You know, man?
She's so fly.
That wasn't it at all. It was just like... Oh, she's
You're
still...
like, I could barely fit in that car.
It's like, here we go. Here we go.
Big man in a little car.
That's fun stuff. It's fun stuff. Did I say this episode 72? 72.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
sure.
72.
That's impressive.
I know. We've been literally doing this for over 2 years now because
Great
we're in August.
success.
That's the way I see it. You know,
Was it August?
it was August and we did it.
Okay.
The episode 1 premiered August, right around my birthday. So we're almost to my birthday, and it's easy to remember how old the show is because it's near my
2
birthday.
years. That's insane.
We haven't played a game of Dungeons and Dragons in 2 years. Did you realize
We
this
haven't?
was this was my coping skill? This is how I kick the habit.
It's our replacement.
Right.
This was my replacement.
Sure.
Yeah. So I come here and
You
role
got to
play.
change your people,
Yeah.
playgrounds, and play things.
Yes. In order to drop a habit.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
All right. Good. Jeff, come back from battle just now.
Right. Battle
Is it?
is as it is in our modern middle class, suburbia white dude lifestyle. That being slow pitch softball.
Slow pitch softball.
Yeah.
Fat guy softball.
Fat guy softball. Yeah.
I haven't played softball in a long time. A few years.
I haven't either. This is first time.
The last time I played softball was when I played with you.
When we played.
When I broke my finger on the very first practice.
Wow.
Was that with the co-ed team that my brother and I put together?
That was
Babe
like a
Ruth.
new world record,
Yeah.
Doug.
No, seriously.
First pitch.
No, it was the very first. It was the very first practice, and I
Practice even.
the guy.
First throw. of the first
A
practice.
guy, it was a line drive, and I jumped out to catch it, and somehow, I don't even know how it's physically possible, the ball struck the mitt in just such a way that it hit his finger dead on and broke it. And I played for like another 15 minutes. Like, God, this really, really hurts. And I told Ryan, I'm going home. This does not feel right.
Great. Now we're short of second baseman.
I just don't feel comfortable anymore. And Doug left.
No, I went home and I took like 4 or 5 ibuprofen or something and
That's
taped
a
my
sound
finger up.
methodology.
And I fell asleep and woke up 2 hours later and it was just completely black.
Oh.
And I was just like, yep, I broke my finger.
Wow.
Did you go to the doctor?
Nope.
No.
Why? They were going to do exactly what I did.
Yeah. Hey,
So,
just checking.
No. It did suck, though, because I still worked at YOC then. So going outside with the kids, they'd be like, let's play basketball or something like that. And you're just like, I got to be very careful. And inevitably, you'd hit
Right.
the finger somehow. And
He was on
Intense
restriction at that point.
Yeah,
I can't do anything.
I think
I can't write.
He went to
I can't go
work
with the
next
kids
day.
anywhere.
He went to work next day, fell down, and then
Right.
got workman's comp.
right. I didn't do that.
That's when you went to the doctor.
Hey,
That's a good idea. I
Your
should have
hit-
done that.
your finger was healing on company time. They should have been paying a doctor on company.
That's right. Anyway,
That's
sorry to steal your thunder there about battle, but
hey, you.
That was a wound.
That was a flesh wound there, Doug.
it was.
I mean, the guy who broke his leg had nothing on Doug, who broke his
Way
finger.
to tough it out. Yeah, guy broke his leg tonight, of course. You know.
He was like, I can still play, coach. Keep me in.
No, it wasn't that. It was, mass people around him.
Do you know if it was a high break or a low break?
I believe it was high.
Ooh, that's a hard bone to break.
Right,
Man.
especially as you get older, it's rough.
You could die
playing softball.
You can die.
Right.
Punctures that
there's an artery
down there. Yeah.
Like I was just kind of hoping it wasn't a compound fracture. It's terrible.
Jeff runs out. Stand back. I'm level 32 field medic and SOCOM. No.
No medics.
Oh,
one
sorry.
life, you die. That's it. That was
That's
the
true.
beauty
Sorry.
of it.
Did you see how serious he got all of a sudden?
Yeah.
He was like, there's a lot of things we could joke about, Parrot, but it's not going to be that. Okay.
None of that.
Sorry,
foo-foo stuff.
Got it.
SOCOM. That was the beauty of it.
That's right.
Yeah.
You shoot till you die.
One life per round.
I get you.
And you took one or two hits, you were it.
I watch a lot of CSGO on Twitch. I know.
Kind of.
Not enough.
They're developing a new one.
Are
It'll
they?
be out, yeah.
A new SOCOM?
Yeah, it's called H-Hour. David Sears is the producer of the original SOCOM, is producing this. He actually did a Kickstarter, I believe, to raise the funds for it, such.
Did you buy in?
I didn't. I thought I did. Maybe I did. It's been so long now. It's been a few years. I don't
That's the problem with Kickstarter.
they started it
I gave
2 years ago.
$20, $5. I don't know.
Here's what I want to do. I just want to be like, I'm going to start a Kickstarter. We're going to play a game that puts my kids through college. Essentially, you just give me your money, and then I'll put it in an account, and I'll hold it and make interest off of it. And then when my kid goes through college, I'll pay you all your $5 back.
Maybe.
You think?
It's novel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a guy in a suit standing on the side of the road asking for a job.
I just think writing really like sappy handwritten letters to multimillionaires, like an old school letter, just asking for money. Like, why it can't hurt.
That's true. I mean, what do you got? 49 cents in postage?
Right.
Sure.
Hey, super millionaire guy, giving me $50,000 would literally change my life. If you would like to do that, dude, it would be awesome. My family would be like, sort of like always
in your debt.
Kind of keep
you could buy me and my family. You could come over for Thanksgiving.
Like it wouldn't be like we wouldn't be like indentured servitude or anything, but we would just like always think you're an awesome person.
You need to find one that has no family or anything. It was like, we'll come to every holiday.
We'll be your friend.
You'll have to.
You can come hang out with
us as a family.
We'll be like your middle. We'll be a middle class family. You can come hang out.
There's your business idea right
there.
there.
You could play softball with us on the weekend.
Play softball.
There's your business idea.
Hang out, listen to like vinyl records, and drink.
Or what was it you were listening to when you came in? Industrial
grindcore.
Yeah.
Grindcore. Yeah. Be
like, Godflesh.
Sure.
I like back in the day.
I think Bill Gates wants to come over and hang out on your back porch and listen to Godflesh.
Those people, when I say those people, I mean the elite class, they're out of touch with everything. Dude, they are basically aliens.
You'd be like,
they don't know what's going on.
Excuse me, sir. In your sappy handwritten letter, I am currently constructing a 200-foot stone owl in my backyard, and I was curious.
I'm preparing to sacrifice a small baby.
An effigy.
In effigy.
In effigy.
Not a real baby. In effigy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think they, hey, you want to keep in touch with reality, how things are on the ground in
even if this
society,
is a business idea, this is like a fantastic reality television show. Like Rent a Family. Instead of Wife Swap, you do like Rent a Family.
Well, I always had the
Rent a Grandma thing.
Well, I had a
thing on Shark Tank.
Was it? I had a rent a grandkid idea at one point in time. Basically, old people
give my kids some old person.
No. Well, old folks, they have lots of money typically.
That's why we invite Doug to birthday parties at our house.
Right.
What's that?
Nothing.
They always need help putting up their Christmas decorations, having somebody take them out to the cemetery to put flowers on their dead loved ones' graves, that sort of thing. Rent a grandkid. Hey.
Do you miss
visit with them?
Do you miss making cookies and tea for someone while they're raking your yard? Rent a grandkid.
Rake your leaves. Rent a grandkid.
Whether you wanna go.
Supposedly this is industrial grindcore.
Oh.
Listen to Godflesh.
This is Locust.
This is this is playing weird things with my stereo.
Jesu's pretty good. Jesu. I like them pretty well. There's like doom metal. I was listening to some drone metal.
Doom metal.
There's a podcast. Music is the lifeblood, and he talks about 1,000 different versions of metal.
I
all
would
the
not
time.
consider this industrial grindcore.
I just want it gone.
That was very poppy,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Well, there's industrial music. You know.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just say grindcore.
There you go.
Yeah.
Grindcore.
Or just look up
C-O-R-E
Godflesh
or C-O-R-P?
Godflesh sounds
E.
familiar.
E.
with an E. Yeah.
Why is that sounds familiar to me, and I don't know why.
I don't know. I don't
New
know.
Dark Ages.
So it's 130. It's 129 days from the time this podcast comes out to the Star Wars Episode 7 comes out.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you at all excited for that? Okay.
Yeah, I do. I mean, somewhat. I'm actually. I don't know.
Hold
The
on.
magic for me is
Hold on.
Midnight
second.
showing guy.
What's that?
You gonna be a midnight showing guy?
No,
No.
he just said the
No.
magic
What?
was gone.
No.
Oh, come on.
No.
Come
That's all
on.
right. That's all
We're going to
right.
be there. We're going
Yeah.
to be recording.
Well, listen, I got some information that I think that I need to share with you two that I think it's going to change. It's going to set a tone for a few arguments that we've had on the show.
1 second.
What?
Before you do that, I just want to say 72 is the atomic number of hafnium. I feel that every episode we should give some tidbit about the number of the episode that we are on.
Probably
So,
good. It's a good time to start that.
Yes.
There is always
Go ahead
something
and start
unique.
that on episode 72.
72.
There
Well,
is
we can
always
go
some,
back to 1 if you
well,
want.
no, there's a philosophical
Well,
thing.
1 is the only number, so the loneliest number.
And 3 is
And
the magic
every
number.
every
Also-
number has something
Some
unique
meaning.
about it. Yeah.
In degrees Fahrenheit, it is considered to be room temperature. 72.
Oh,
That's true.
that's why the HUD thermostats don't go above it. 68, 72. Now you may think you're setting that sucker higher, but it don't go up and it don't go down.
The 72 Paranatellans, extra zodiacal constellations that rise and set simultaneously with zodiacal constellations in
hey,
astronomy. There you go.
hey guys,
Yeah, I know.
it's Kip Pemberton.
I don't have it ready.
No.
That's
I
all
was
right.
not ready for that.
That's
brother.
all right.
No,
Well,
we-
who-
we
I
can
want to
start
hear
with-
Mikey's information.
Anyway,
Okay,
that was
sorry.
that. Now back to Star Wars.
So we've had a few arguments about some certain things with the show and with the movie.
Right.
Hold on.
So the new
Are we going to know who's going to be right?
Possibly, yes.
Okay. All right.
We don't have the answer yet completely on what it's going to be, but because the Blu-rays are being re-released,
I heard
in the
that.
steel books, so they're in a steel case now. And I felt that I was kind of uncomfortable with the covers because the Rebels are only featured on one cover, and that's Yoda. Everyone else is.
Right.
Well, it is truly the story of
according-
Darth Vader.
Well,
Yeah.
according to focus groups, that's what's most popular and will bring in the most revenue.
That's true.
That's where it's at now.
Changes
Jeff is bitter.
changes to
What's
all
It's true,
films.
dude.
Oh, we could find this if we bought it on as a digital release. Changes to all films in the HD release. The one significant change between the recent Blu-ray releases and the Star Wars digital HD releases, now available on streaming services, is the replacement of the iconic 20th Century Fox fanfare.
Told you.
The boisterous
Told ya.
horns and Fox logo are replaced by different theme and a Lucasfilm Limited logo.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
It's released
We-
with like the Mickey Steamboat Mickey thing at the beginning.
See, that's what I
Only
thought.
he should be driving like a Death Star or Star Destroyer. Or
But
something.
when they
Driving
released,
Death
when they sold to Disney, Disney made that thing with the Millennium Falcon flying around the tower.
Okay.
So I thought maybe that's what they were going to show.
Yeah.
But it's a little weird. It's going to be weird not having that fanfare
Sure.
in front of it.
That's the setup.
So I almost want to just buy it on a digital version, or I could probably just
We can do
download
that
it.
during the break if you want.
Now I've heard, this is scuttlebutt, I don't know if it's true or not, that they're going to re-release the unedited, the original, as they were
Yeah.
originally released
Right.
on Blu-ray.
I don't know if those are going to be on these sets. There's nothing
Okay.
that says about it. I mean, this wiki just talks about the changes through the years on the original trilogy. So it talks about Han shot first and stuff like that.
Right.
But that was mentioned. I started reading it. I saw that, and I was like, oh, so that explains that, because we've had long, hard discussions as a group here talking about how we think that is going to be handled. Because we knew that when we found out that they got bought, that was, I think, one of the first things we talked
'cause
about
there would
was
be no Fox
the
fanfare.
Fox fanfare is not going to be there. And John Williams wrote that. He wrote that. He didn't he? Did we find out that
he wrote the fanfare.
Okay, yeah.
he wrote the
I mean,
fanfare,
yeah.
and he started the song to match up with that fanfare, like for it to work together.
Right. And
The-
it does.
the
The,
main theme.
interface is great.
Right. He
Yeah.
did that together. So but maybe he wrote the new thing. I would assume he would. He's writing the scores for the new movies.
Sure, I'm sure he could be like,
Absolutely.
we'll just. I mean,
Yeah.
it's John Williams,
Right.
Yeah.
He has
he had it scored like 20 years ago.
right?
Probably.
He probably just broke something. Oh, yeah, sure. Here you go.
He goes over to
Yeah.
a filing cabinet in the corner of his little studio, and he's like, "In case of death, here's every movie score for the next 100
He
years."
probably. He's probably like,
52.
Plan B.
Yeah.
Score.
episode 7. Here's what the story should be, and they're like, "Yes! Oh, hey, I've already written the score for that." So he actually
Does
wrote
he
the
have
story.
Asperger's?
John Williams?
Yeah.
Asperger's?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just wondered.
I've never actually seen him.
Because he's like so awesome at that stuff. Like maybe that's his
Like a Rain
certain
Man kind of thing?
Yeah, maybe that's his like specific super interest.
A savant.
Composing music.
a savant for like 80s era action movies, like adventure movies.
I don't know. How does somebody hit a peak like that and write it? You know?
I don't know. Doug and
Zimmer.
Mike are the musical.
Hans
What's
Zimmer.
what's his whole like, life story educational background? He just like, go to music school and
I think he was just a conductor,
and then got
right?
like a master's degree in conducting music,
Yes,
Did he
yeah.
start off at like,
UCLA.
Podunkville, USA, like
As a school, like a school.
The school band director.
like how does he get to be that guy?
He was actually
Yeah.
he was actually walking down the street in Texas when a man appeared with a golden guitar. And he told him, "If you give me your soul, I'll make you the greatest movie composer of all time."
Oh right,
He made
at
that
a crossroads.
Deal. He made that deal.
Type-
Absolutely.
Here's a golden trombone.
Yes, yes.
He was in the Air Force, and that ended in 1955.
There you go. He was abducted by
55,
aliens.
Cold War, Cold
he's
War
at-
area.
He was abducted by aliens.
Project Blue Book. Here we go.
He went to the
Station in Roswell.
the Juilliard School
Oh,
where he'd studied.
which we know. We know
You
that
heard it here, folks. John Williams is actually an alien.
Yeah.
Jeff put it all together.
that's actually a lot of CIA
Project Monarch.
Project Monarch went on
yeah.
there. Yeah.
Maybe that
He was a
forced-
pianist for composer Henry Mancini.
Yeah, he did the Pink
Oh.
Panther theme. He
Yeah.
played the piano for it.
Yeah.
And Peter Gunn.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's how you got.
Yeah.
Hey, we-
Spy Hunter. Then buy that
Yeah.
the video game Spy Hunter.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
the bowling alley in Harvard City. That was the only video game that I would play.
What a wonderful video game
It was
that was.
great, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, if I could drive into the semi twice, it was like a record run.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
like a record
Yeah.
run.
When video games were video games.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It meant something.
Speaking of old video
Meant
games,
something.
I bought a Raspberry Pi and I got it set up with the emulation station.
Wow. Okay. Awesome.
So I'm working on getting that set. So got that going.
I've been considering.
So you're
getting one
basically
of those.
building you a Game Boy.
No, it'll hook up to the TV, and then I'll have two Super Nintendo controllers on it, and I'll be able to play any NES, Super Nintendo, or Sega game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that legal?
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Okay.
Sure.
it's
What?
legal. The
I don't know.
emulators are legal. The ROMs, on the other hand, are. I mean, I'm only playing the games that I currently own and cartridge form.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
So-
Then you
So it's
get around-
basically the whole Pokemon series.
exactly
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Did anybody watch Games Done Quick last weekend? Did we talk about this already?
No.
No.
Okay. Well, if you like video games that meant something, the Games Done Quick is a speedrunners group that do speedruns of old NES,
Yeah.
Genesis, whatever video games, and they raised like $1.2 million for Doctors Without Borders, which whatever, if that's a reputable.
It's an
charity
NGO that's basically a CIA front organization.
Exactly.
Whatever, dude.
Exactly.
They all are.
Exactly.
There is no such thing.
I don't know where to go with this, Jeff.
Follow the money. That's where I'm going with it.
Follow the money.
Hey, were you on our last conspiracy theory episode, right?
Man.
No.
No, I don't.
Every
think it
time I'm
was.
on it turns into that. You know. What do you know?
Did you hear the aluminum foil story?
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like you were on that episode.
maybe I don't know.
Okay.
So I posted a thing. When I posted the show, I put on for our last conspiracy show. I said, put on your aluminum foil hats,
Right.
and be prepared to talk about conspiracy theory stuff.
Go down in your basement,
Right? Yeah. Go
blacken
down
the
your-
windows, and let's talk about conspiracies. Is what he said.
So
Okay.
I posted that
Yeah.
and got on our page and everything like that. And somehow I'm trying to pull up the email and it's not wanting to load.
well,
Here it is. Got it.
Imagine
Got
that.
it. So we get an email not too long after the show got posted from Yao YAO at likeypack.com, and it says, "Good afternoon. We are a professional solution supplier of aluminum foil products.
There you go. There you go. We talked about
Automatic
this.
production." Did we talk about this already?
well, we talked about data mining.
Data
Remember, he
mining.
got on his phone and he
That's
was
right.
like,
yeah.
That's
and-
right.
and he was like, Ryan, and he read me like my median income, the name of my kids,
Right,
and
yeah.
my last 3 places from his phone. So immediately after you leave, we apparently got data mined a little bit.
You got data mined.
They found aluminum foil in our subject line of the podcast.
And,
that
you guys are so interested in different things. You're doing a lot on the internet.
And this
so
is
it's-
listening to you.
your profiles out.
your
true.
phone is
Too.
listening.
It's
to?
listening to us.
yeah, if
right
you just
now.
say "Okay, Google" to it, it goes.
Yeah.
"Boop."
No, don't start that. It'll. I don't-
Okay, Google.
I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were talking about something.
Okay, Google.
And they did that, and he had Chrome open. And Chrome, if you have a microphone on your laptop, you can do it on Chrome too to do "Okay Google." And he had it open, and the guy that was Skyping with him said "Okay Google," and his computer beeped. Like, it was pretty funny. It was Scott Johnson and Brian Ibbett. It was on the morning stream. It was really funny when they did it because he was like, "Wait, how did that do that?" Like, they couldn't figure out how it worked.
Game over, man. Game over.
So a guy in another state made his computer do something from his voice.
It's crazy. We need an EMP to happen.
Oh.
Oh yeah,
Is
Like
that-
seriously,
that would
we
be
need to
fan-
rectify this issue.
like
Well,
Ocean's,
you know,
like we need
Electromagnetic
like
pulse.
Ocean's 11.
You know, if we
A
find
big
out
one.
that
Like
aliens
one that,
aliens
you
are
know,
actually real,
Well,
they're just going to
like
take all their
back to-
technology.
Back to the Stone Age.
Serious.
You know, they say
Did you
that
watch
like
it?
90%.
I watched it.
Not like Connor Prairie.
They say like 90% of the population would die within a year.
If we didn't have electricity,
That's too high.
I think it's too low.
I think
Really, in a year?
I don't know. I don't. How would we feed ourselves?
How would people survive? I mean, most common people.
Hold on. So
We're
no
pretty
electricity. No electricity, right?
No electricity
No
at
so,
all.
so
no electricity.
diesel engines would still work.
Well, electronics and a lot of vehicles would be fried.
Right, but diesel engines would work because that doesn't create a spark.
But
right?
they all
That's
have
all
computers
pressure,
in them
right?
now.
Right.
You'd have to have basically a Yugo. You
Right.
know? Or
But
like
tractors, but a diesel tractor would work.
a tractor.
90% of the food we grow in the fields aren't edible by humans anyway.
Right.
So it doesn't even matter whether.
Well,
I
you
mean,
can eat the corn; it just doesn't taste good.
No, we would gain no nutrient. We would die if that was
Yeah,
that
people
was
get
what
like,
our whole.
You'd have like scurvy.
Yeah.
People would get like,
Having
like a lot of
nutrition,
weird
right.
stuff would start happening.
We'd be like people on old ships.
Right. Basically.
we kill it,
Where's my limes?
fighting each other for the last piece of orange.
Pine needles are full of vitamin C.
Okay, we
Yeah.
can make pine
You can
needle
make a tea out of
Make
it.
pine needle
Yeah.
tea.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, whatever you pee on, I mean, it's instantly dead though.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Your urine would
Your
become
urine.
like super
yeah,
toxic.
it's super. Yeah. Because you're eating pine needles and it's piss. So
Well, we're not gonna eat
Yeah.
them. We just
How do you know that? Why do you know that?
Wait.
I don't know. I just
Yeah.
you know the whole adage of you pee on grass or whatever and it turns brown, and then of course pine needles are highly acidic, so they.
Oh.
Well,
they
first
kill.
of all the pets would start disappearing.
Do you think people would immediately start eating their dogs?
Yeah, that would happen.
Yeah.
fairly quick.
Yeah, that's
Or
true.
their cats.
They wouldn't eat
I
their,
would.
Hold on.
I would
No,
eat
no,
my
no.
dog,
Nobody
not
would
my-
eat their cats.
They wouldn't eat their dog. They would eat other people's dogs.
Wild
Right.
animals would start disappearing.
Yeah.
You know, birds.
The squirrel population would be
Squirrels.
nothing.
And then,
Rat- they would all-
then the elderly and small children.
Right.
There's like a hierarchical scale of things that would
Yeah.
start disappearing in a certain order.
Cows, horses, pigs, you
This
know,
is
the
not.
easy.
This is not the direction I thought this show was going to go.
I
But I
watched,
like it. Let's go with it.
I watched Mad Max, the new one. Fury Road.
Oh, I really would like to see that.
Me too.
It is good. It is very good. It is worth a watch. I'll tell you.
Yeah,
that.
I'm sure. I'd really like to see it.
It's got some really weird, messed up stuff in it, like visually, but it's really
My
good.
question is the storytelling as linear as the other one? I mean, did
I
we
don't-
just start and like?
My problem is I
and
don't
we're
know
not
where it
told?
is in the timeline.
Right.
Where is it in the timeline?
Yeah, where is it?
I don't know
Where's
where-
it supposed to be? I
I
guess
don't-
I don't know that either.
I don't know if it's before or after.
Or is it a
don't-
standalone?
No, it's
I-
supposed to be. It's in the timeline. The same director did
Yeah.
this one.
Is it Max?
Yeah, yeah. So it's I can't remember the guy's name.
Tom
but
Hardy.
Tom Hardy plays him, but there's some
So-
very weird, disturbing like visual things that go on in it.
Yeah.
But that's Mad Max
Well,
movies.
clearly it's at some point after the Road Warrior, or
It would have to be
before?
after Road Warrior.
Was it after Mad Max?
After
before
Mad
Road
Max.
Warrior?
It'd be after Mad Max. If it's not at the end, if it's not 4, then it would have to be between 2 and 3.
How many? What's the first
There's
one?
3. Road
Mad,
Warrior.
Mad
Mad
Max,
Max,
then the Road,
Road
Warrior,
and then Mad
Thunder
Max
Dome.
Beyond
Beyond
Thunderdome.
Thunderdome.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this one takes place after.
We don't know. The one person that's seen it had no idea. So,
Okay.
but I would say it
He
has to
could
be
not
either,
tell.
It has to be either after Thunderdome.
Is he supposed to actually
Or-
be?
But he's younger, dude,
Is he
right?
supposed to actually be Mel Gibson's character?
Yes.
Okay.
He is Max.
He is Max. I'm just trying to find on here if it says.
Because
where it
Road Warrior,
falls.
is his wife still alive in Road Warrior?
No. That's where he gets all super jaded. Now he's the
Yeah.
Road Warrior.
But I thought she died in Road Warrior at the beginning
Mad
of Road
Max.
Warrior. Oh,
Right?
Mad Max. She doesn't die at
His
the end
wife
of Mad
and
Max.
kid.
They don't die in the end of Mad Max.
You sure?
They
Spoiler.
get away in the station.
Well, they're
wagon.
not in Road Warrior because Road Warrior begins with him just driving in his car.
Right. He's back. He's got the.
Right.
That's it. With
He's
his
got the
dog.
supercharged.
His blue healer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does she die in Mad Max?
Yeah, I believe so.
How
I haven't
should I look
seen it
this
for a
up?
long
I
time.
just
Movie
watched it like a
order.
month ago.
Mad Max
From beginning to end.
timeline.
Yeah. Well, that's.
I
what I'm
thought
saying.
she got like raped to death.
No, that was.
You know, I don't know.
That happens, but that's in that happens to another chick in Mad Max, or in Road Warrior when the helicopter guy sees it over the top. The heli guy.
Yeah. Well, it's clearly not his wife. His wife
Right.
and kid are not in Road Warrior at all.
Right.
At all.
Right.
Okay.
So I didn't know.
Maybe they got scurvy.
Yeah.
could have got scurvy.
Yeah.
And then he ate them.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
And that's why
he's fit.
Right. That's why he's all super intense. Because he was like forced to
I
eat his
had-
wife and kid.
I had to eat my own family. If only I could rent one.
So it says it's not a prequel. It's not a prequel, and it's very definitely not a remake. A sequel question. The sequel question is slightly more difficult to answer. Writer-director George Miller calls it a revisiting.
Wow. A reimagining.
So an
So
alternate
A reboot.
An alternate timeline.
Okay.
Maybe.
It's a different story. The car looks different. I mean, the dark car looks rougher.
It's not like a Ford Torino or whatever it was.
Is that what they were?
They were Fords. Fords
Yeah.
make like all these cars in Australia for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the right-hand drivers.
Most of the people in the movie are Australian. There's a lot
Yeah.
of Australian accent going on.
Well, I think it's kind of like It's weird. Mad Max is sort of Australian's version
I
of
think
Harry
the lead
Potter
singer
from
of
the
Midnight-
UK.
I think the lead singer of Midnight Oil.
The
is
Harry
in it,
Potter
too.
movies.
Really?
I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks like him, but but he's got makeup and he's all hanging off the side of a car. and
Midnight Oil. Wow. Yeah.
The beds are burning, kind of. thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Give it back. Give it back, bro. Yeah?
Man, we've gone all over the map.
We have.
What were we supposed to talk about?
Well, I mean, this is.
We're going to talk about the debates.
We're gonna talk about
Geopolitics.
the
Geopolitics.
politics.
Well, we're getting there.
Well, Mad Max
Conspiracy
is
theories.
kinda,
Yeah,
you
we'll
know,
get there. It'll come around. Come on, just give it a second.
I mean, we were talking about
Right.
250-foot stone owls in my backyard a while
Right.
ago. So.
Right.
Well, get ready for it because this Iran nuclear deal, it might turn into Mad Max in another
You could get your EMP. dude.
15 years.
That's true.
I don't think. Why would it take that long? We're giving them better centrifuges.
Yeah, well, yeah.
They're going to enrich it in half the time.
But it'd be cool.
It'd be cool.
Nuclear warp. That'd be cool.
We live in a pretty safe distance.
Speaking of
nobody's
which-
going to hit Indy. They might hit Chicago, but I think we'll be safe.
No, it's an EMP. They detonate it in the atmosphere,
Yeah.
and it just affects everything.
Fries everything.
The whole planet?
All
If-
electronics.
If you detonated one over the center of the United States, about 80% of the
Not
country.
a nuclear warhead.
No,
An
it is a
EMP.
nuclear warhead.
Yeah, it
you
has-
detonate
So
a
it
war-
creates a pulse.
Yeah,
Oh.
it creates an electromagnetic pulse over the United States, and
I've
it would
s-
about
it would-
80% of the U.S.
But
would
just
be
one
a
warhead.
total.
I don't know what the megatonnage would have to
I don't
be,
know what the
you know?
megatonnage
Yeah, there's
is,
a
but that's what they
scale
say.
and
is-
So now the question. Now hold on. Does it affect?
I've seen
how
War
does
of
it
the
affect
Worlds.
electronic stuff? Like
It fries the circuits.
I've seen
Really?
War of the Worlds. All I have to do
Destroys-
is
how does that
replace
not
the
mess
solenoid.
with your like your body has.
It can, I would assume. I'm sure.
I mean, I'm
that-
guessing
sure-
you're probably gonna get a little.
I'm
twitch
sure
or
our
something.
government has thoroughly tested that. You know.
Yeah.
Speaking of this issue, though, August 6th was
Wait,
the
which
seventh
issue is that?
nuclear weapons.
Okay, all right.
Atomic weapons.
Yeah.
I prefer to call
Yeah.
them atomics.
August 6th was the
Atomics, A-bombs.
70th anniversary
Yeah.
of Hiroshima.
Yeah, and I actually met the pilot of the Enola Gay
Really?
back in 1990. He got his autograph,
I
his
saw you-
book,
his
and
signed
got his
book.
autograph. And he wrote to Jeff Hansard.
Nice.
Yeah,
He's-
best wishes.
Did he?
You know, Paul Tibbets.
See you soon.
No.
Yeah.
See you soon. That was the dude. The
That was the mortuary dude. But
yeah, creepy stuff.
Yeah, so that was kind of interesting.
where'd you see him at?
The Muncie Mall
He was doing a book signing there.
book signing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Well, I saw when I first saw it, I was like, "Why is Jeff selling a book?"
yeah.
I was like, wait
is
a
this
minute.
on Muncie? Buy it, sell it, trade it. Do you know how to put it on there and put like $500 on there? You know.
Buy, sell, trade.
Yeah, Muncie buy, sell, trade.
Yeah.
You know,
That's-
Facebook
that's the
selling
market.
group.
That's the
right?
market.
It's mostly like, you know, buy these sweet Nike shocks.
Right.
You know,
Cell
Freshly
phones.
worn.
kids stuff.
A
Yeah,
lot of
jacked
good
up
stuff.
cell phones.
I sell a lot of cell phones on there. Every cell phone that I've ever sold has been on Craigslist or Facebook. It's just so much easier to do it on there than eBay.
Facebook's pretty convenient to sell stuff.
Yeah. I'm
But-
a member of a few of those groups.
I'm shocked that was the first and last time atomic weapons were used.
No,
true.
it would not.
Yeah.
It will not affect a human being.
That we know of, Jeff.
No, because our signals in the body are chemical signals. They are not
Okay.
electronic.
Okay.
Therefore, a human being.
we don't have
is-
circuits.
We do not have circuits.
My
Thank you, Professor
my
Doug.
Now
grandma
they
does.
say
Pacemakers.
Yeah.
which is
That's
yeah.
a
Now
problem.
that
True.
that would
But-
that would
and she could be
You don't
hacked.
think like the insulation of your body would
I
protect
don't- you
it?
got to have like a lead lining. Oh, a Farago box. They call it. What is it?
A Faraday cage.
Faraday cage.
or a
or a lead
or
box.
an old fridge like
right.
that you could just hop into.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
You know, when you're looking for crystal skulls.
Now
and
the
stuff
thing
like
about
that.
that is, like studies have
was
shown,
a
like
big thing.
to harden the entire United States electrical system to
$400
to-
billion.
Huh?
$400 billion.
No, it was something crazy. It was
1.2
less,
trillion?
less than like $10 billion
Really?
to do it.
That's shocking.
Yeah.
Protected?
to
Shocking.
protect because
Shocking.
you're protecting
just
you're
have to-
protecting you're not protecting like the
Substations.
lines, you're protecting the stations,
Right.
the
Right.
power plants and the stations. So
The
evidently
control systems.
yeah, I've heard people talking about that, and it actually the study was not that expensive. It was a few $1 billion to do it.
Will your handwritten sappy letters work on the government? Dear
So
government.
really, so hold on. So if I had a gas generator sitting in my basement and this went off,
Yeah.
and I hooked that up, everything.
It wouldn't work. The generator has electronics in it.
But what if it's not plugged in or anything like that?
Doesn't have to be. Just you could have something sitting there just exposed, the EMP pulse within a certain proximity. Now there's a range to it,
Right.
and there's a strength to it.
Right.
It would fry the electronics, the circuits in the
Well-known
apparatus,
well-known
whatever it is.
physicist Michio Kaku, who I'm sure we and other people who listen know who that is.
Sure. He actually
and other
listens to the
members
show.
of the American Physical
He's from
Society
Iceland, right?
asked Congress to appropriate $100 million to harden the country's electrical grid. That was against solar flares. So
That would have been a lot better than spending on turtle tunnels under the highways.
The UK has their electrical grids a lot more separated out. So they would be. I was just reading about this recently. Ours is like very interconnected. Theirs is very.
Would never thought.
Theirs is very like sort of independent. It's smaller regional. Ours is like a longer interconnected. So ours is much more susceptible to catastrophic failure.
I feel like we're turning into a prepper show, kind of. You know.
This one.
I'm gonna buy some silver.
Well, here's the thing.
Silver.
How much is it now?
$14 an ounce.
It's a good time.
It's a good time to buy.
Good time.
I would tell you this, but I don't want to. I've got a bunch sitting right over there. I just went and bought a whole bunch the other day.
What kind did you buy? Just like
90%.
coins? 90%?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just
90%
bars or
coins.
something.
No, just coins.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's a good time to buy.
Yeah, it is.
I bought about $500 worth. It's
Wow.
not mine though.
Playa?
It's not yours. Who'd you buy it for?
Treasure hunters.
Oh.
Oh, right. Yeah.
We're having our seated hunt, so they're
Okay.
prizes.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
I gotta get involved with you guys.
you do.
I know. It's like a thing I want to do. I follow you on Facebook, so
Yeah.
Yeah, and the food, the food is a huge thing, you know, that they try to get everybody to do now. The survival food,
right.
the freeze dried,
The bucket.
Yeah,
You buy the 5-gallon bucket.
5-gallon bucket of food.
Look, what you just need to do is buy gallons of peanut butter.
Beans, dried beans,
Dried beans.
You'll
rice.
be able to trade anything you want for peanut butter.
Well, bourbon and ammo are the two.
Yep.
will be the commodities.
That'll be your
guns
currency
and ammo.
yeah.
I want
and
a
alcohol.
full-fledged peanut butter market is what I want.
and gasoline.
Gasoline.
Gasoline actually goes bad fairly quickly, so there's no real way for you to store gasoline.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I keep mine out in my shed all year, all winter, and put it in my lawnmower to
Yeah.
spring. It works fine.
I mean, we lose some to evaporation, right? But
yeah. I don't even store it properly. I just leave the
I
nozzle on.
have
It's
a-
open.
I have
you
a
know,
plan,
you know,
right.
it's,
I have.
I
a
just
plan
get it and
to
shake it up in the
secure-
spring. I'm like, I'll just give it a good shake.
Put some stable in there. You're good.
I don't even do that.
We actually have a plan to secure
The gasoline.
Hartford City in Hartford City, Indiana, in the event of a apocalyptic
Well,
scenario.
don't be telling people this.
So
I don't
it's
want
good.
them showing up.
It's going to be
Well,
like
if they
what's
are a
the
valuable
town?
member of society and
What was
have
the Walking
skills,
Dead town?
That's true. If they have peanut butter,
If they have
you're
peanut
allowed
butter.
into
Hold
peanut
on,
butter.
hold on. Who has this plan?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I'm the governor.
You said we, as in like the town.
I feel
has
like
prepared
it
for
was
it.
my plan.
He's
Doug.
talking about the survivors.
I feel like it was my design.
So it's going to be like the town.
The
on
problem
Walking
is
Dead.
half those buildings that we were going to knock down to create our wall have already been knocked down.
Well,
They just
those are
fell down.
the non-functioning buildings. You know, that's okay. There's still plenty there that we can secure the secure the area.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it took a lot of science to find out that there was a scrapyard full of metal and a crane within a mile of downtown. So kind of made it
true.
the perfect place to hole up.
That's
yeah,
true.
Yeah, you got everything you need. 2 gas stations right there. You got areas to put farming.
You're less than a mile away from a water tower. and
Yeah.
A substation.
Yeah.
Hey,
So good little setup.
You're
good,
welcome.
Good little town.
Yeah. It's a good little town.
You know, to be honest, can we expand?
Nice
could
place to live.
basically like could a town in this day and age basically bill itself as the prepared town? Like
That would be a commodity. That
in
should
the
be a thing.
event of an emergency, these are
I
the
mean,
things that our
Chamber of
government
Commerce
has put
thing.
in.
The town. You watched the ET Atari thing, right?
Oh yeah, that was
The-
nice. Yeah.
That town marketed themselves as, "Hey, we have a landfill that has a bunch of ET things in it." Like that was their thing.
Tourist.
Because they
Crap,
cut
they
to the
found it.
Revenue.
The mayor was talking to him. He's like, well, "We want them to find it. I mean, it'd be great. It'd be great if they did."
Revenue.
And they had this whole thing where they would talk about like they had the whole ET shop and stuff.
Now, what would Donald Trump say about that?
The business,
In the
Are we
fantastic.
segueing
The business
in?
of America is business.
If I am the nominee, I will not run as an independent.
If I am the nominee, I will not run as an independent. Quote from Donald Trump in last night's debate.
Right. Yeah. I don't know.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did. Now,
Who here in this room watched the debate?
I didn't watch the debate live.
you
but
didn't, Doug?
I know I did.
Oh,
You
Of course
didn't
I
raise
did.
your hand.
why didn't you raise your hand?
Well,
I mean,
because oh yeah,
I didn't. It's okay.
I'm not
all right,
involved
all
yet.
right.
I know who I want to win.
Who do you
so-
want to win?
Rand Paul.
Okay, who do you want to win?
Rand Paul.
Are you serious, or do you feel
No,
pressure?
I feel very serious about it.
Okay, who do you want to win?
I like Rand. I'm sort of undecided though.
He wants Ted Cruz. You can't tell. Look at that. That face right there says Ted Cruz.
I kind of like Rubio.
Rubio.
I like Rand. I like Rubio. I'm sort of waffling
I
still.
think
You
he's
have the
saying
best
that-
chance.
He's
You have
still
the best
early.
chance.
He's
still
saying that
early.
because he dreams of being on a pirate ship and pointing down at him and saying, Rubio.
I just really enjoy the ginormity of his ears. I never realized. Man, they were like
Shh. He can hear you.
that thing on She-Ra that flew around with her. You know, that owl-like furry creature. You know what I mean? You know.
I just
Okay.
pulled up
She-Ra.
this picture when you said that.
I
Oh
was
my
thinking.
goodness.
I was thinking the crown that she wore. But yes, okay, yeah. Now I got you. I'm with you.
Dude, like his ears are super huge.
Yeah.
Like not sticking out far, but actually like the length of them.
Like they go from the top of his head to the base of his jaw. Like,
Right, yeah. Like when he's an old dude, he's
Gonna
gonna
be
it's
like
like
George
well,
Burns.
you know, did he have plugs at one point? Like, you know, was he like hey man, he had student loan debt and he grew up paycheck
Yeah.
to paycheck. Did he have plugs?
So-
you know, was he
so-
tatted up? Like, what's his
Maybe,
thing?
could
you know?
So we've got a Rand Paul, a Rand Rubio. What? You still looking at big ears?
I'm afraid he's gonna.
This thing.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. What is his name? I can't remember.
It's
I don't think I
probably
ever
2
watched
syllables. Sounds like mumble.
I know the dude's name was Bo.
That's right. He was the dude.
He
was
had
the
an
man.
awesome stash, dude.
I didn't watch She-Ra near as much as I watched He-Man though.
I didn't really watch He-Man. I actually probably watched She-Ra more than He-Man for some
Maybe
reason.
you were a little bit older than me, so I think
Well,
I figured out the reason.
Possibly, because He-Man did come across as a little homoerotic.
Well, I mean,
Yeah. Really?
at the time I just thought he was.
yeah, right. So, like, even as a kid, I wasn't interested in He-Man.
Oh.
You know,
People that were been waiting
I
for
had-
us to talk about the debate. They're probably going nuts right now. They're like, seriously,
You got this close.
You got this close, and
And now
now
you're-
you're on
let's go.
He-Man.
Let's bring it
No,
back.
no,
I'm
no.
good with that.
Backsliding
I'm
into
good with that.
He-Run.
No, no, no.
I'm good
It's
with
okay.
that.
That's what
yeah.
we
So
do. That's
Rubio, I kind of liked him. I thought he presented very well. You know,
Who
like if
do
it
you
was a
think-
job interview, I would hire him.
Who? So you think he did the best job interviewing for the position?
Yes. Trump, he is a mile wide and an inch deep. His campaign.
Yeah.
That's the way I
Yeah.
think about it.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
I mean,
he's
it's
good.
kind of.
Good analogy.
Yeah.
I think he's been threatening to run for president long enough that people are like, really? He's really going to do it this time? And it got to the point where he's kind of got the old man syndrome. We're like, I said it, now I got to do it. And now people are actually listening. He's like, I can't believe people are listening. I don't want to do this.
Yeah. I read a kind of an interesting article, but his whole premise, I think, is pretty interesting. It's not that, hey, I'm not a corrupt person. It's that everybody knows it's super corrupt. I'm a part of it. Like, I do it. Like,
Right.
I manipulate these folks. Like, I'm so like beyond it now. Like, he's reached a Zen-like level of corruption. Like, he's like, it's just philosophical to him now. He's just like,
Well-
yeah, of course it is.
Well,
you
And,
know?
and
Like-
that statement even come across last night in the debate a little bit because Rand was saying something about it, and he basically just said, "Well, I've given you enough money over the years."
He
And,
Right.
and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's
he,
right."
He had a few good ones, like when he was
Yeah.
talking about the four businesses that went bankrupt, and basically, you know, he's like, I've done what every other person in my shoes would have
Right,
done.
yeah,
I used the country, and they followed up. They're like, well, a lot of people lost money, and he's like, you know, basically, yeah, bankers, and he's like, these guys are killers. You
Right.
know?
Yeah.
I
He's
was
like,
just
he thought they were like. He's like,
I think-
these people are not babies. You know,
Right.
these are killers, and he's right. They are killers. They killed this
JFK.
country, dude. They've killed this country. They've
From
killed
James
the middle
Garfield.
class. That's who they've killed.
They tried to kill old Hickory. It didn't work though.
Now, are we going to go? Are we going to go?
Are we talking about the 5
go,
banks? We talking about the 5 banks?
Well,
Is that what we're
about
talking
the central bankers.
Well, the
right
small
now.
banks, they don't exist anymore.
Well,
Right?
The 5 banks. is
Right.
what
Chase.
The same
Right.
5 that own
Chase.
all the
And
oil.
They're consolidating
Chase
more
City.
power all the time.
Right.
You're going back to Sirius, man.
Well, I'm just spouting it as truth.
Have you watched that documentary, Sirius?
No, I didn't.
Netflix, you need to watch that.
Okay.
You would really like that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I just can't take it anymore. Like, I'm so saturated.
You see it.
with-
You see the truth now.
Right. Like, it's like, it's like, yeah, I get it. Like, okay, so let's do something. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
What are we gonna do? We take it
Stuff.
Take
There's
it-
stuff you could do.
And
Stuff and
things.
things.
Stuff and things.
Yeah.
Well,
Just leave it at that. You know?
Let's take over the government. Let's throw them out. Let's kick them out.
No, they-
Let's
Kick the
revolt.
Bums out.
Yeah, I mean, you
Blah,
really,
blah, blah,
if
you
you
know?
think about it, though, there's nothing that you really can do. I mean,
I say we settle a new continent.
because
It's out of control.
Well,
Pandora's
let's
box. It's the genie's out of the bottle.
Let's move.
well,
true.
I mean, come on,
We talk
everybody.
about Antarctica. We
who
talk
who
about that.
controls all the resources?
Wait a minute. Let's go back. What's in Antarctica, Jeff?
Something is there.
Okay. All
And
right.
apparently,
Nazis.
back in the 50s, right, all the countries that don't get along on anything somehow agreed, hey, we're not all of us agree not to mess with, exploit, do anything on Antarctica for some reason, even though they get along. No country gets along basically on anything, but yet on Antarctica, like everybody's like, oh yeah, no, yeah, we're all cool. We'll
So
sign
do you,
this.
Do you believe
So,
Antarctica's Atlantis?
Dude,
That
listen. It is in every country in the world's national security interest, economic best interest. Put a best interest out there. It is all in their all best interest to exploit, utilize, get resources from Antarctica. But nobody touches the place with a 10-foot pole. Why is that?
At least that we know about.
At least that we know about. There's some stuff, but it's so superficial and shout. Oh yeah,
The
there's
penguins.
a research station. Blah,
The penguins.
blah, blah. Oh yeah.
The
The
penguins.
Chinese, have people dig canals by hand with spoons, right? Hundreds of thousands of people to make jobs for them.
Right.
We agree. We will not mess with Antarctica. What?
Ooh.
What? That doesn't make sense at
We don't
all.
want to mess with the penguins.
Right.
Really? Is that
I like,
why?
I like
Yeah.
penguins.
Oh,
Cow.
there's
Cow.
something there. There's something there.
Cal is the name of that creature, by the way.
Oh, cow. Yeah. C-O-W-L.
K-O-W-O.
Oh, K-O-W-L.
Yeah. It's
So-
a mixture.
Now I want to know what's in Antarctica.
There's something there, dude.
Well, that's where
something
the Nazis
crazy.
went. That's where the Nazis went
Yeah, what did they
after
do there?
World War II.
Oh.
And that's where their base was, because that's where the alien technology is. And when Admiral whatever his face was went down
Okay,
there
hold
in
on.
World War
Is
II
he
with
lying?
the
Is he
Atlantic
lying?
Fleet.
I'm not familiar with
Remember the Atlantic Fleet that we sent down to Antarctica, and they got attacked by the UFO, and they turned around and came back.
I'm not familiar with this, Doug.
Oh,
I
you've
have to
never-
say.
you never read about that?
No, I never read about
Yeah,
this one.
yeah.
Or maybe I have and it's escaped me.
the
but there's something down there. I'm telling you there is. Besides ice and penguins.
That's true. Probably.
The
Is-
largest oil field on the planet is down there.
Yeah,
and they're
There's that
protecting it.
kind of stuff. I
They're
mean,
pro-
it's land.
it's protecting us from
Operation
peak oil.
High Jump is what it was called.
Really?
Operation High Jump. Rear Admiral Richard E. Byrd.
Rear Admiral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, that's interesting too.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah.
So, okay, do you think
Adherents
that
to the hollow Earth hypothesis believe Admiral Byrd flew over the North Pole and into the hollow Earth in 1947.
North Pole?
That was in the North. Yeah, that's the hollow Earth people. They say there's a hole
Are
in
those
the
the
north
same as
that-
the lizard people?
Probably.
Okay.
So, but I just read something though. Actually, just here recently that they believe that there's
do
a
you
second.
think Governor Christie believes that there's people on Antarctica?
He probably is one.
he
of those.
seems like he'd be a jerk to have for a dad.
Really? That's what you pull from that?
Yeah,
I could see that.
Yeah.
I
I'd be,
agree.
if I was like his teenager, I'd be like, my dad's a dick.
Yeah.
He comes out wearing a Hillary shirt.
and I really kind of felt like he was a little bit exploitive of 9/11. as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That
All
struck
I
me the wrong way.
remember is the hugs.
Yeah,
you
right.
know.
I was like, oh. I mean, I let out an
You
audible
just said-
groan.
Dude, you're from New Jersey, not from New York.
You watched it from the other side of the river.
I mean, in
Yeah,
all
I mean,
fairness,
I
New Jersey,
get
New York,
it.
it's basically the
And
same
I get it,
thing.
and I get he was a federal prosecutor, you know. But yeah, you know, that was a lame comeback.
Well, when he becomes,
know?
if he ever gets president, he'll find out what really happened with that.
He never
so.
will. Yep, 9/11 was an
Oh,
inside
yeah.
job and all that.
yeah. Oh,
Right.
Well,
So-
look, here's one of the guy's passports, totally undamaged.
that is weird. For me, that was one of the weirdest things about all of that is the plane that falls from however many thousands of feet, supposedly directly into the ground. Everything's completely obliterated, except somehow they just happen to find completely undamaged one or two of the guys' passports, who are the hijackers.
Hijackers.
Perfectly.
Oh.
Calculate the odds of that?
Yeah, well,
Never tell me the
Hey,
odds.
isn't there a computer model that could run that simulation
I'm
and give
sure
you an odds?
there
Like, I mean, they have
is.
computer models for everything.
There's one that does the Pentagon with the light poles. You ever seen that one? With the plane that goes in and
Yeah.
the light poles, and
I-
like if the plane
yeah.
would have went into the trajectory that it says and everything, these two light poles should have got completely demolished by the wings, but they're still standing.
I don't.
A lot of that, just I think a reasonable person, even like if you had no knowledge that happened, they would say, "Okay, here's the deal. Check this out. Here's these pictures. Here's this. Okay, here's what happened here." I think a reasonable person would be like, "Really? Like, I just don't see it, honestly.
right.
Like, you know, like,
Well-
it seems like a little. It doesn't seem like there's quite enough left of the plane. Or
Clearly,
you know?
clearly, the one building was demolished.
oh,
the
Tower
smaller
7,
one?
Yeah,
Closer.
yeah. I mean,
Seven.
it was clearly
Yeah,
demolished.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
WTC 7.
you know,
I mean,
clearly.
it seems like that could be caused by a collapse. Like it would start blowing out stuff out of the
like
windows.
Yeah, but it's
you know?
weird that half the files that needed to be removed from there were removed like the week before.
Right.
And
Yeah.
So,
Oh, dude.
Ryan's
Yeah.
just like, oh no, we've gone into the
Uh,
twilight
speaking
zone.
of this,
No,
more
I'm enjoying
relevant-
it. I
more relevant
honestly, I don't
current
know enough
events,
about it to
the
speak up.
MH370. This is getting interesting now.
Yeah,
right.
all of it's coming to
Malaysian
shore.
Airlines. So they find this like
Oh,
part of a
yeah,
wing,
yeah.
right? So, but one thing I noticed today, I was
in
the China-
Madagascar, close
Right.
to
Now,
Madagascar.
I've seen a couple of computer models that showed the currents, whatever, But the interesting thing was, well, first of all, I got to say, I really appreciate how the Chinese families mourn. All right. So in Beijing, the families of the victims
Right.
crawled with signs and placards and, I mean, wailing down the sidewalk the whole time. I mean, I really appreciate that.
Like that's grief. That's grief.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. No, that's
well,
it
I
was
mean,
it was cool.
China. They kind
Now,
of
one thing though
had
that
to, Ryan.
What?
Well, off camera, all the Chi Coms with their AKs pointed at them.
Right.
You will grieve. You will make us look human.
so they were saying though, and I don't know, maybe you guys could help me with this.
Whoa, calm down there,
Uh,
CNN.
They were saying that some of the families were like they're very now these Chinese families especially very conspiratorial about
Right.
what happened. They think their loved ones are like still alive somewhere, which may not be true.
Well,
Well, not
But they
now.
were saying
They
one
could've
thing
been.
that they use as evidence is they say that the victims' phones were still
Reunion
ringing.
Island.
ringing.
they were still ringing
Right.
weeks after they would call, the number would ring, right? So
So it didn't go straight to voicemail. So the phone.
I don't know, but I mean, is it true?
battery
Like,
would have been
could you
dead
just
after a week.
Could you just like blow your phone up? Well, if it was in the ocean or something, too. I mean,
I
but
don't
could
know.
you just like blow your phone up, and then what will happen if you call me?
I would
Let's try
You
it.
go right to voicemail.
Let's try
right?
I would assume it would go right to voicemail. Yeah, unless there's something weird with.
So were they saying that their phones were just ringing and ringing and ringing, and then eventually?
it all washed up on Reunion Island.
Interesting.
What a bit of serendipity.
serendipity. So that is the one.
Okay, is there a presidential candidate that's going to end this crap?
Okay.
These planes are
That's-
getting hacked.
Well,
I think.
you think people are hacking them?
Yeah.
Like, the pilots are like,
Well,
oh no.
somebody said that there were some engineers from a company that were on board,
Yeah.
and
The stealth.
Whatever happened to that guy? The guy gets on a plane. This was fairly recent. Gets on a plane, hooks into the Wi-Fi on the plane, and hacks into the navigation systems of the plane.
Yeah,
Then
I saw that through the movie, through the USB port or something.
Yeah, and then lands, and then he tells the FBI or whatever about it. And it was like an issue. It was this guy was investigated, but I haven't heard any more about it since then.
Because he's probably dead.
His family's
Yeah.
hey, we haven't seen him.
Well,
That'll teach you to be a white hat.
But
right
that's
there.
he would have had a car accident.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, he was driving in his Porsche at
he had a heart
180
attack
miles an
while
hour.
he was driving.
Right. Or shot himself through the head, but the entry point was back here, or
The back of his head.
So that story totally fell off the face
That's
of
how
the
I'm
planet.
going.
And then he hung himself after he
That'll
shot
teach
himself.
you. That'll teach you to be a white hat.
Well, what
right
about all the doctors that have been dying? All the big anti-vaxxer doctors that have been mysteriously
I've heard a little
dying.
bit about this.
mysteriously?
Committing drowning and
What are they
committing.
dying from? Like smallpox and stuff like
They're
that.
from murder. They're dying from murder.
Oh, huh.
So, yeah, they're dying from all the diseases that
They didn't get vaccinated.
No,
from.
I'm just saying. There's
A
a
bit
lot
of serendipity once again.
there's a lot of stuff happening in the world.
Lots
a lot
of things.
stuff. Lots of things that are very disconcerting.
So how does it end?
Well,
Ryan wants to bring it back to the debates.
No, I don't. At this
how
point,
does
we're
let's
like
get
an
out,
hour in.
let's get out
I
our
don't
book
necess-
of Revelations.
I don't
Ryan.
necessarily want to do that, but I mean, I still have maybe, if I'm lucky, a good 40, maybe 45 years left
If you're lucky.
in this planet.
Right.
Let's be clear about that.
Right. If I'm lucky, I have a good 40,
Right.
maybe 45 years
Well,
left on
okay.
this
Well,
planet.
let's be realistic. Whoever is elected president, it really doesn't matter, because ultimately they're going to do whatever they're told to do.
Who is it? Truman that said, or Eisenhower, right? That warned us originally of the military-industrial complex.
Right.
Eisenhower.
Yes.
Eisenhower.
Serious again. He keeps referencing that documentary.
Bread and circus, right? Bread and circus.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
exactly.
So the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yeah, this is all bread and circus for us. We're
Bread
all
and circus.
We're fat. We're happy. We're entertained.
Right.
We're not
Well,
happy.
Well, to me,
We're not
it's-
happy.
I'm
dude.
not talking about us. I'm not talking about
No,
the
no.
lodge members.
No. I'm not talking about us specific. We're pretty happy.
Right.
Fairly jovial.
Right.
you
Having
know?
a good time.
Fairly jovial people. Fairly optimistic.
I think it's because
right?
we're knowledgeable.
Wait, you take this as optimistic? You take the last hour of podcast as optimism?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Knowledge is power,
see,
man.
the thing about it is, when you know the problem, then you can do something about it, right?
But I'm getting that we can't do anything about it.
Well,
Not really.
we're processing it.
Listen,
we're processing.
we're building the army that can do it by releasing this into the world.
All of Iceland will rise up
our
with this.
our whole listening nation.
Almost 1,000 people.
Well, just think about it, okay? Our military's at the smallest it's been in how many decades? We've got our troops spread all over the world. We'd bring our troops back, and they're so messed up from PTSD. The VA now can if they deem them mentally unfit,
Right.
can take away their Second Amendment rights.
Yeah.
So, who's going to defend us at home if, anything like that happened? If the military's completely, been completely the police forces more and more becoming militarized. They're driving a wedge between the civilian population and the policing force,
Yeah.
which is one of the classic moves of a tyranny. Is you create a police force that's insulated amongst itself, that doesn't feel that they can trust, the general populace, and the general populace is fearful of them. So, I'm just saying it's baby steps towards
But see,
something
now
bad.
it's arguable, though, the natural state of things would be a tyranny, right? So, and I've read this before, that, and I don't remember what they call like a good tyranny, right, is
Yeah.
isn't that like the sort of...
the benevolent dictatorship.
right, isn't that like the best possible outcome to have, or at least it would be the way things organically go towards, right? See what I'm saying? Like, you put a bunch of people together,
Well-
at some point somebody's going to be a dictator.
you watch Survivor. Somebody gets to be a leader.
Right.
Right.
You get 20 people on an island. Eventually, everybody starts looking to one
and
guy.
power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Right. That's why there never will be a benevolent dictator.
Well, true.
I'll do it.
Will you?
Let me do it. I'll take a crack at it.
Right. I feel like I could be benevolent dictator.
Yeah, I could
I'd
do
be
it.
cool.
I
you
do.
know, like people would love me. I'd be beloved.
Be like it's Sunday. Nobody has to go to work tomorrow. Let's all watch Big Brother and eat ice cream.
Well, hey, like I think old Kim Jong-un is maybe not too bad.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy.
I mean, they love him.
Let's all go to North Korea.
And if you don't,
They throw flowers
if they
and
don't,
always
they line
clap
you
and
up in
laugh
front of
when
an
he-
anti-aircraft
He does
gun.
like awesome things, like drives tanks.
Or they feed you to a set of ravaged dogs.
Right.
I mean,
or execute you with an anti-aircraft gun. Now
Yeah,
that is, dude, that's the only stuff. Like, I mean, that's pimping, right? That's like as a
That's like
dictator,
GTA 5
Like that's balling,
in life.
dude. Like he's like, all right, you got Bill Gates, you got Donald Trump, whoever, you got billions of dollars, dude. I can execute people with an anti-aircraft gun. Like, come on,
and make their families grieve
top
with
that,
signs on
top
the back
that,
of them.
top that. Who tops that?
I mean, who's
Who
Castro?
tops that?
Who's Castro?
The guy
anymore?
that has the SpaceX program, or whatever. Him,
Elon
Musk.
Musk.
He's building an electric car.
Did you see the new thing? The spider?
Yeah,
The
thing
spider
that
tail or,
charges
what,
it
or
automatically.
snake tail or whatever?
It's a computerized thing. It just looks.
It looks weird. It's very
It's
creepy.
It's like Robot from the Future.
Is it like erotic in any sort of way?
Well, I'll show it to you here. So, all I'm saying is
Okay.
things are grim in the world.
He just said they were optimistic.
No,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have to disagree.
Come on, Doug.
I have to disagree because you think this is my whole thing is all the prepper movement and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm totally for people being prepared, but the thing is that 90% of those people, and I know a lot of them, if crap actually happened the way that they say, they're going to be some of the first people that get taken advantage of, and things will get extremely ugly because you're in a mode that the United States has not seen probably since our founding, than people living on the frontier, where it's literally dog eat dog, claw your way to survive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And unfortunately, in scenarios like that, who tends to be the people that come out on top are the people that have the least scruples. They're the people willing to rape, murder, plunder, kill to get what they need.
Antisocial types.
You've got a stockpile of food and water.
Rick Grimes.
Guess what? I'm going to come in and cut your throat in the middle of the night.
Rick Grimes. You'll bite someone's neck to get them off of you.
That is actually favored in natural selection process.
Well, yeah.
Being an antisocial, like a narcissistic type or antisocial personality
Makes
disorder.
sense. It makes
Because they literally, they exploit people. They have no empathy, right? It's all very focused on self to what do you have that I can take advantage and
That's why chicks always dug the jerks in high school.
Exactly.
I was gonna say,
and those dudes
sound like you were describing my ex there for a
and
second.
those dudes go out and they these are the guys that have 13 kids with 6 different women,
Right.
or whatever.
Right.
So now he has, people that have scruples. They're decent people, good morals. And you have 1, maybe 2 kids.
It's called a social virus, is what I typically
Those
would say.
guys have 13. The disposition or the
Attila the Huns, the Genghis Khans.
being predisposed, then his children predisposed to be antisocial personality types themselves. There's 13 of them, as opposed to 2 of the
Just real quick,
people that are stable.
what do you think about the Giants?
Yeah, right.
The
Yeah, we
the
talked about
Nephilim.
this before. I saw I just saw a thing yesterday or today about the giant mummified finger that was found in Egypt. It was like 18-inch long
You
finger.
waving at the Grays?
I'm waving at the Grays, man.
So
I have a thing. When Nephilim come up, I want to I don't have a drink to drink, so I'm
Yeah, that would be nice. Is there any alcohol? You got booze?
No.
Gosh, I could use a drink.
Sure looks like
Yeah.
a big turd.
Right. Yeah.
all
Or
I'm
it's like
saying,
like basically the John Holmes of the of the
It's not.
what do they call it, the King era or whatever the three
Right,
what
right.
was one of the eras of the Egyptian empire.
the rising sun,
the dynasty.
Yeah, what name in that era?
I don't remember
the Old Kingdom,
The Old
New
Old Kingdom. Yeah.
New Kingdom.
It's the John Holmes of the Old Kingdom.
Okay, sure he is.
King
All
Og,
the guys in the New Kingdom were
John
always jealous of the old.
Hammurabi.
King Og of Bashan in the Bible.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like Goliath. You know, those kind.
They supposedly
he's
found,
not a
They
a
supposedly
believer.
found the gates to Goliath's
They
town.
did
Yeah.
the gates of
Right, I
Gath.
saw that recently. Yeah,
The gates. It's
Yeah.
all coming back.
It's
man.
real. I mean, it's historical.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
yeah.
all
Sure,
coming back.
The gates are massive.
They are.
Yeah.
So, I'm just saying he's not a true believer.
It's not that I don't believe
He's not
Doug.
a true
It's just
believer.
He's a baller.
I have a hard time with like this like mass conscious disillusionment. Like we're
susceptible to it.
we're just gonna be like, okay, so we found all these giant skeletons. Well, there's just guys in black glasses and dark suits are gonna come collect all that stuff up and then store it right over in the basilica in Rome.
Yep.
Why is it so hard to believe? Crazy stuff happens.
Who pays those guys?
You do.
Where do they eat dinner at?
You do.
They're just people.
I've never seen them at McDonald's.
They're just people.
You do.
How do you apply for that job?
You got to be ruthless.
Yeah.
And a killer.
You're going to listen.
See, the problem is those kind of that's who was it was I was watching a news conference or something, a program a week or two ago, and the guy hit it right on the head. He's like, most people do not realize that there is a percentage of the population out there that are truly aberrant, evil human beings that have absolutely no empathy
Right.
for the human race.
Right.
And they cannot comprehend. Most people are good people, and they can't comprehend that there is somebody out there like that would feed on you almost like a predator would. You know, and probably people view themselves as being a higher evolved in a certain way.
Right.
You know, that they don't have that same level of empathy. So I think it's natural for most people to kind of disbelieve that, because most people, I think, are genuinely
Well, they can't
good.
relate to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like most people can't put themselves in that mindset.
Right.
Now, you go to any prison and find it full of people who, like you're talking about, antisocial personality types, exploit
Right.
people, etc. However, what you don't typically see is that in combination with high intelligence, right? So the hapless loser criminal types who do all this stuff, antisocial things,
Right.
get caught time after time after time. They don't have a very good intelligence to pull things off, so to speak.
Right.
But there are folks out there, an even smaller percentage, who have that access to personality, antisocial personality, and they have
Right.
a high intelligence as well. And those are the, as
Right.
Donald Trump would say, these people are killers.
Right.
They're killers.
Yeah. So
Okay, again, that's fine.
Okay. All right.
I agree to not disagree.
And going back to the politicians, there's been research that shows politicians, especially at the federal level, the more powerful the position, the more likely they are to have antisocial personality traits, narcissistic personality disorder. Because what better way to assert your will over people where they have no choice but to comply than to be a politician?
Well, that's why term limits on all this crap.
Right.
Lower the amount of money that they receive in office.
really, that's the only way to really change the political process is term limits for congressmen. Lobbying has to be completely outlawed. No lobbying. If you go to Congress, you cannot go to work for a company afterwards. You have to spend a certain period of time. You cannot, in my opinion, have a job with any company that has contracts with whatever government you represent, state, federal, whatever.
And that's what the Department of Homeland
That's
Security
tough
should
gig,
actually
though.
been watching.
Huh?
We already have the people doing that. I mean, that we
Well,
just.
they wouldn't do that because that was done when Cheney was in.
But I'm saying that's what the Department of
you-
Homeland
you
Security
look at-
could be doing.
Well, no, you look at TSA, the guy who was one of the heads of Bush's. I can't think of his Michael Chertoff.
Oh, yeah.
He's the
Chertoff.
guy that went immediately after and founded the company, all of the scanners. He started that company and got the contracts to install those full body scanners in all the airports.
Yeah.
As soon as he made it a law that they had to have it.
As soon as you made it, which
Yeah.
is, crony capitalism. So, but
I thought you were going to tell me you went and worked for Procter Gamble and
Well, I sure didn't walk
started
through
a line
those.
of liquid
Oh, yeah.
soap that are only so many ounces.
I take
long.
I take the additional pat down instead of walking through those scanners.
You do?
I do. People will just queue up, sheeple. Oh, there, walk through the scanner.
Well,
and I'm like, excuse me, I'm not doing.
when
the
I was
scanner.
having to travel,
I go stand over there and I get an additional rub down, a pat down.
you can now pay.
Rub down.
And this is what I love too. Again, crony capitalism.
You can pay.
You can pay to do the TSA pre-check. You pay like $90 a year, whatever it is. They do a background screening on you, and then you basically do what you used to do in old airports. You walk through a metal detector and throw your thing on there. And it's literally, like hardly anybody, like one guy for every 1,000 people that go through the regular line, like one guy goes through the pre-check. So it's actually the more effective method going through the metal detector. Having like bomb sniffing dogs and metal is a more effective methodology than using the body scanner.
You know who's got an effective methodology? The Israelis at their airports. That's what we ought to be doing. You know what they do? They profile. Oh, whoa! But just like Donald Trump said, and he was true about this, the PC, we can't offend anybody. That absolutely is a national security risk.
Yeah,
Right.
I
Yeah.
agree.
You know?
Sure.
I mean, you got to be steps ahead. I understand.
He
but
he sprinkled in good nuggets of truth in with all of his other bloviating.
he really, I mean, just made himself look bad. He really did. I mean, I wasn't excited about the guy or anything, but I find him interesting. I think he's a populist and very much for Republican nomination, which is real interesting. He's
Yeah.
not a Chamber of Commerce guy. You know what I
No.
mean? Well, I mean, he is. But I always look at the Republican Party. Basically, you have the chamber, what I call Chamber of Commerce Republicans, and then you have your religious right folks.
Right.
Maybe
Right.
a little in the middle. You have something like Tea Party. They're not.
And your
that's fundamentalist
Tea Party libertarian kind of
conservatarians.
Conservatarians.
Yeah, which I think is actually where things should head. And that's where more younger folks like us.
I
are
think
at,
I think if things continue on, there probably will be a rise of a third party.
That's the biggest issue.
If America
That's the
doesn't
biggest
split
problem.
apart at some point, which Civil War is not out of the not out of
I mean,
the
you
question.
can't say that. I've actually been pondering lately. I could see a military junta taking place at some time in our country.
Optimistically.
The military taking over. Right.
Optimistically.
No, like it happens. Now, sometimes they're incredibly repressive.
Right,
Argentina
right.
had
Yeah.
one that took place, I think, in the
Sometimes.
70s.
Well,
a junta took, came into place.
That whole absolute power.
Sometimes they're repressive.
Yeah.
I can't think of one that.
There's
wasn't,
actually
but-
Well, in Egypt,
Sure.
we backed the junta.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
What? The United States backs repressive
We were like,
regimes. I don't believe that.
it was like, like the federal government's official stance was like, oh no, that's terrible.
They're our
Hey, but
closest
it's cool.
ally.
You guys are, but just don't be mean to the people.
Oh
and
no,
we'll,
they
and that's
overthrew
what
the
we did.
radical Islamic Muslim Brotherhood. That wasn't.
Oh,
No, that's
oh.
too bad.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
they're
oh,
executing all their leaders that were democratically elected.
Oh, no, that's just
Okay. All right. Never mind. I mean, really,
What?
because honestly, that what Arab Spring or whatever you want to call it, that seemed like an interesting thing at the time.
See, I knew where that train wreck was going when it
Well,
was going.
you want to know why? This is
and
my
the one
opinion.
chick got shot in the head in Iran. Oh, it's
This
a new
is-
thing. No, it's not.
This is my opinion why that started was because Gaddafi was trying to get with the other stable Muslim countries there in like North Africa and in the Middle East, trying to actually reinstate the dinar as a gold-backed currency. And Libya actually had some of the highest physical gold reserves in the world.
Ooh.
So
Okay. I'm
he
not
started-
familiar
he
with
started-
the backstory
He
here.
started
This is good.
saber rattling over that.
Yeah.
And of course, you can't be a threat to the petrodollar. So he's gone.
So the Saudis at the behest of the Saudis, you think it was?
No,
the
I think it
Saudis
was the
don't own
behest
the
of.
petrodollar anyway.
Well, the Saudis need us,
Right.
you know? We're their military protector.
They're running out of money quick now. Right now,
Well, oil prices are tanking, you know. So
but they're just like
thank gosh,
they're just
Obama.
like a 50 Cent, but basically at a country level. They're like 50 Cent. You know, he filed bankruptcy lately. He
Right.
spends $180,000 a month or whatever for his personal trainer. Something crazy. It was something for his fitness.
It was like
Right.
$70,000
So-
a month for just mansion maintenance.
Right.
Like,
Something
that was what
ridiculous.
upkeep for his
So
house.
Saudi Arabia, they've been living high on the hog for all these years with all these
right, and
revenues.
they have to pay off their population so they don't revolt.
Now revenues have dropped, but we have this lifestyle. This is what happens with the super rich people that file bankruptcy and stuff. They have some kind of lifestyle, even though they're making millions of dollars, they end up broke.
Yeah, but
Yeah?
we'll prop them up. You know, we're not going to let that power structure
Thank
go.
you, China. Thank you, China. We'll prop them up.
I saw World Bank is in the process of considering or going to at least consider using the yuan as a
reserve
reserve
or doing
currency.
a
Yeah.
basket of currencies as the
That's one thing
reserve.
I know is that if they start moving from the American dollar as their reserve,
Look,
that's when
that's not gonna happen.
the shit's gonna hit the fan.
It's not going to happen. China is not nearly as strong as, and just these market moves that have happened recently just show they're not as strong as what
paper tiger.
they are. They are, because their biggest problem is their civilian population now has grown enough. They've had a middle class that is demanding more and more rights.
Yeah.
They built that on the backs of slave labor.
Right.
Okay, so it's just there's no way the U.S. could screw them royally if we default on our debt. You know, we could take them down probably if we default. We just print enough money to print ourselves out of debt.
Yeah.
So I think it would hurt them way more than it would hurt the U.S. in the long run. So
Why aren't you working for a think tank?
maybe
Or this
maybe
is
I
what this
am.
is.
Hey, you
This is
don't
what this
you don't
is.
know
Well,
what you don't know
welcome
what
to
we
the
all do
lodge.
at Asons.
Welcome
Right.
to the lodge, Jeff.
Yeah.
Right. No, all I'm saying is the world is
You
so...
know what his title is at Asons, right?
I know.
What is it now? Director
Director of Strategic Initiatives.
Really?
Yeah. My advice is taken very it's really taken into consideration.
Just his advice is taken. It's just taken.
So
Freely given and often taken.
all I'm saying is the world is not in a good place. It would be fantastic to have some good, honest people, at least for America, that would stand up and obey the Constitution and go back to the, limited government. Let
Right.
people excel or fail so the cream can rise to the top. And people, I believe, most people are good enough that we can take care of those that are in need.
Right, but I mean, it's not fair if you don't work as hard as the next guy and you don't get to live the same way he does if he works harder.
So
It's not fair. It's not fair. I don't want to work as hard as that guy, but I want to have the same kind of house.
I know. You should have went to work for that company that paid $70,000 as the base salary to all their employees.
Yeah, that's working out for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, they're hurting. I've
Yeah.
read.
Yeah. So, no, I think
Teachers at one time used to make $60,000, $65,000, even $70,000 a year upon their retirement.
Yeah.
right.
That doesn't happen anymore. I will never break 40.
Well, education's just not as valued a commodity as it used to be.
How much time we at?
We're at an hour 19, but
All right.
honestly, I feel like we need to get enough of this out of our system
Yeah.
before we come back next week. So next week we can stay on topic. So
Well, this was before the break, so
right.
we're allowed
and
to.
this was all good.
We discuss a lot of topical issues for the day.
I think I honestly think this is probably the one episode I've said the least If you took the amount of minutes that I talked this episode, this would probably be one of my shortest.
So for every
No, actually,
for 70
probably the Hearthstone episode would be the least.
every 72 episodes.
I wasn't there.
Every 72 episodes.
Okay, all right.
We get a makeup for
All right,
our
jerks.
life.
All right, jerks. I'm not saying it like it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that I was totally enthralled
Right.
into the conversations that we're talking. So my mouth. Thank goodness we're on YouTube this time because you guys could be able to just see that my mouth was hanging open.
I watched
whole
the
entire
Ronda
time.
Rousey fight on a side note.
Yeah, me too.
No,
me too.
You paid to watch it.
Yeah, we paid to watch it. We watched it at home, but we did get like 5 hours of other fights.
That's true.
before, and
Good,
then the
'cause you're gonna
34
have to get-
the 34 seconds.
Did you watch the?
No.
You're not interested in UFC at all.
Not at
It's-
all.
It's part of the bread and circus that we were talking about
It's
before.
34
Yeah.
seconds,
Yeah.
but if you get a chance, watch a compilation
Yeah.
video of this girl.
Yeah.
If she gets a hold of another person's arm,
it's gone.
done. It's
It's
done.
over.
Yeah.
She's like, she gets a hold of it and puts her legs on their chest, and it's done.
Did you see that they're making a biopic about her, starring her?
Oh,
They're gonna make a biopic over her, starring her, like she will
She's
play
good
herself.
looking. She's a good looking woman.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the premise why they're going to do it. They'll be like, all right, well, let's do it.
Well, what's funny is
bread and circuses.
they did the weigh-in before, and the girls got right in their face, and the one girl, the Brazilian girl, was
Right.
screaming at her, "Don't cry, don't cry!" Like when she beats her. And so, 34 seconds down, the girl's laying on the ground. Rousey stands up, pulls her mouthpiece out, and says, "Don't cry" to her. Right after she stands up, I was like, "How perfect is that?"
Yeah, it's nothing like I remember renting the videos from Dave's back
Yeah,
in the day,
yeah,
that
you're
whatever it was called back then, Ultimate Fighting. or
Ultimate
whatever.
Fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing like that. When the
Right.
guys literally just beat the crap out of one another, blood everywhere.
Well, now
Right,
there's
right.
rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can
yeah.
get sued.
Yeah,
I
I'm just
know.
waiting for us to start killing people in the ring. Just go
Battle
back
bots,
full on
battle
Rome.
bots.
Full on Rome.
Right.
That'll
That'll
be
happen.
the thing.
Battle
It'll be
bots.
robots.
We've already been doing that in Planned Parenthood, right? And then we sell the body parts.
we
all the
didn't
time.
even touch on that.
Oh,
Don't even touch.
Island of Dr. Moreau. That's what they do with it. The mouse you saw where it had the ear on its back like a
Right.
while back. That's
Right.
where those cells come from.
It's pretty gross.
I think I said this last time I was here. If you are naive enough to think that human beings have not been cloned already, and that's been going on for a number of years, and whether it's our country or other countries, you're being incredibly naive. It's already happened. There's already been like human, animal. I mean, Island of Dr. Moreau stuff. That's happened already. You
Well,
know,
I mean-
it's ridiculous to think otherwise.
What was it like 6 or 7 years ago that like our athletes, there's just as close to a demigod you get in America, but like Peyton goes overseas to get stem cell therapy put on it. He was getting baby juices basically put in, and nobody had a problem with it at all.
Oh well,
Now we
Bloody
get a
Mary.
video.
Oh, yeah.
Now we get a video of it happening, and people.
Well, now you see how the sauce is made, and you're
Yeah,
kind of.
you don't want you don't.
You're
You're not
kinda-
interested
Gross,
in the
dude.
sausage.
It's crazy.
It is. It
It was really
terrifying.
we watched and it was really disturbing.
That is a
where
terrible. That's a
I know.
terrible analogy for
I
this
know.
to say what that's how
know.
the sausage is made.
but but
gross.
it was really disturbing. The it says something about a human being that they can sit down and they can look at a plate. And they have a
pointing
picture.
at
They have a
things.
picture of the baby's eye face and the eyeballs staring back at them, and their little hands and feet, and they're just like talking about it like it's like freaking The Giver, like that
Yeah,
detachment from that. That's a life, and it's just like you people.
I need to go read that book again.
I don't even.
At least half.
Dante has to have a special layer for those kind of people.
It's 8 3/4.
It's all just. We're all just very close to that at any given time. All of us. I mean, maybe not that specific issue, but
Yeah.
something.
Do you
right?
think that they sold individual organs from Cecil the lion?
Hey, zebra lives matter, man.
dude?
That's all I'm saying.
That was just dumb.
That's what I'm saying. Is
Outrage.
outrage.
That guy's been taken for a complete. He's been taken for a complete ride.
And the thing is that you saw the
Cows
guy
not
in New
being
York
alive.
Times that wrote the op-ed. He's just like, in Zimbabwe, we celebrate when we kill a lion because guess what? They come to our huts at night and will kill us, eat us.
Americans are so douchey. Gosh, man.
We
Yeah,
are.
we have a country full of freaking douchebags.
Maybe it is time
Legitimately.
for a little social Darwinism to
Did you
happen.
see?
I don't
Did
know.
you see when they went to Zimbabwe and they were asking people about how they felt about the murder of the lion?
Yeah, they're like,
and they were like, "Who?"
Well, I mean,
What?
was any of them like the meme of the
Do you have
little
any-
like African kid
you have
looking
any
at the
food?
white lady? You know, the one that I had was the best was like, you mean to tell me you have so much clean water that you take a shit in it? You know, like it's true.
I know
Like,
which one you're talking about.
Yeah, that one was like my favorite of that kid.
You-
I don't know
you
what
can
the
bleep the shit, Ryan. Don't worry.
Well, I ain't worried
you know.
about it.
You mean to tell me you have
If
so
you've
much clean
stuck
water?
if you've stuck an hour and 24 minutes through everything else we talked about it, I don't think a curse word is going to be a
Right,
problem.
that's true.
All right,
That's true.
You're right. California, right?
we just
Yeah.
take a dump and clean water.
Do you feel guilty when you take a dump in the water?
I think it's kind of a waste. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
That's all right. We're going to purify it. People in
Right.
Anderson
I
are
mean,
gonna drink
I
it.
understand it gets treated, but
People in
Gosh.
Anderson are going to drink it. It's fine.
and I got to look at that as being a whole nother issue. Okay.
It's not the dump that matters.
the
It's when we
fluoride
like
in the water.
pour our
chlorine,
our
whatever.
ADHD medicine
well,
into the water.
and the women that have been taking the pill for how many decades now? Since at least the 60s, right?
Yeah.
Urinating, right? In the
Right.
the toilets, flushing them. Waste goes to the wastewater treatment plant. And I understand it gets sanitized, but
Can't pull the drug
at the
particles out.
micron
Right.
is that stuff still in there at the micron
That's
level,
why you need a
right?
good
downriver.
Berkeley
That's your
gravity
drinking
fed.
water. It's treated with chlorine, but at the micron level, those chemicals still exist.
We need to get us a store where people can go and buy some products.
I just-
yeah.
I just found
at the lodge a good ProPure gravity fed water filtration
I
system.
just found a meme of Cecil the Lion meme. It's Brian Williams and it says, "I saved Cecil the Lion."
I don't get it.
Brian Williams.
Brian Williams. He was in
Uh,
World War
you
II.
That Brian Williams.
Remember
Yeah.
that?
the NBC anchor.
Yeah.
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 The ex-NBC
Oh.
anchor. The guy that
You don't know what happened?
He
No,
fabricated
you
all of
lied.
the
You don't-
stories about
that's old.
Yeah.
about Iraq and
He said he was in a helicopter in Iraq. He got shot
Shot
up.
at
They had to
and-
make a hard landing.
He
was
lied.
with them.
He lied about all of
It
it.
was a bullshit.
yeah.
It was a lie.
I didn't catch any of that at all.
Oh.
So he
It was
got
a
drummed
pretty-
out
it was a
of
pretty big
being
story.
the NBC nightly news anchor. He's not there anymore.
Oh.
His daughter played the Peter Pan on
Oh,
that
was his
weird
daughter?
Peter Pan remake. Yeah, Allison Williams
Yeah.
with Christopher Walken as Captain Hook. That was bizarre. In case
I didn't see it,
So,
but
anyway,
he got his daughter that job. Is what we're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he promptly
Because he makes like $10 million a year or something crazy.
used to
40, I don't
hopefully
know.
invested it.
Maybe I should write him like a nice letter.
There you go. Sappy letter. Hey, Mr. Williams, I've never been in Iraq, nor have I ever lied about being in Iraq. But
I'm just saying, 10 grand would be awesome.
10 grand would help me put a new roof on my house. What else
Yeah.
are you going to do with it? Invest it in me. I'll pay it back over the course of my
Dude, you're
lifetime.
going to be like helping a brother out. Yeah,
That's true, dude. Hey,
I'm
come
cool.
Over. Come over. I don't care that you lied and got
I've
fired.
worked hard my whole life.
I don't care that you lied. You come over. You can hang out in my garage. We'll put some vinyl on. We'll drink a few High Lifes, and we'll
Play
just
some
relax.
foosball.
Sure.
You know,
And to be honest, if you
Whatever.
want to invest 15, I'll add a ping pong table.
it's not an investment. Just give it to me. I just want it. You know, why not?
Right.
Gosh.
So if you're filthy rich and you're listening to this podcast, first off, thanks so much for sticking around for an hour and a half.
Right.
Send Jeff a check.
for going on this journey with us.
That's right. This interesting. This is a podcast. Now I'll be honest. I don't often re-listen to some of the podcasts. Like I listen to them when I'm getting them ready, and I'll put them on when I'm mowing or whatever. But I don't often like sit down and actually re-listen to a few. There's a few segments in this show that I'm gonna have to re-listen to because you guys were over my head.
Project High Jump.
Yeah,
Project High. I want to
to
look at. I actually have the Hollow Earth Theory, a first
Right.
edition book. By the
Really?
way. Yeah.
Really?
Picked it up like the Goodwill, maybe.
That's
someplace.
that would be.
Is that's
that
not
wasn't high
Pemberton,
jump.
is it?
I
Earth's earliest ages.
It's actually on my Facebook page.
Oh.
A picture of it.
So Ryan tried to quiz me one time about the conspiracy theories, and I got, I think, all but one.
Right.
About some island that people live are immortal or something on.
Yeah.
no diseases or something. I don't remember.
That's the one he didn't get.
Yeah.
If you have a conspiracy theory that you want to see these guys talk more about, you can do so at...
I really think I'm going to have to do my own sub-lodge on Just Compare. We're going to have to go down to the basement of the lodge to discuss conspiracy.
with more
Basement.
Wi-Fi doesn't get down there too well.
We'll put a Faraday cage around us. You know. Yeah.
Hey,
Right.
we were next week going to talk about fishing, but I guess Doug wants to do conspiracy theories again. But
No. Well,
No,
fishing's
fishing's fine.
fishing's an important skill to have.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're interested in anything we talked about tonight, or you have comments about what we talked tonight, please join the conversation at facebook.com/Buffalo Brotherhood. You can follow us on our home on the web at buffalobrotherhood.com. We have comments on there, right? We can leave comments on that website.
Yeah,
We've never done it before.
we haven't.
We haven't? I don't think so.
I don't think
I don't-
we got some.
If you want to email us, you can at buffalobrotherhood@gmail.com. Speaking of which,
Twitter. You have Twitter?
we have Twitter. You can tweet us at BOBcast Show. No,
BOBcast Nation.
BOBcast
BOBcast
Nation.
Nation.
Very
Even the
good
guests
guess.
got it.
I've had like 4 good shows.
You can tweet Ryan at.
At Buffalo Cast.
You can tweet Jeff at.
I don't know what Jeff's Twitter handle is. What is your Twitter handle?
It's just at Jeff Hanser.
Spidered something.
Really?
Yeah, at Jeff Spider Marks. Yeah.
With a Y.
Is it
At
really
Jeff
just Jeff
Hansen.
Hansen?
Yeah.
You got
Wow.
kind of lucky on that.
You got in
You
there
got in there
early, huh?
early.
No, I didn't create. You start using Twitter until this year.
Oh.
I wonder if just that.
Mike's like, I wonder if my name's on
I've
it.
never tried. Just my name.
Yeah.
You can follow Doug at Refried Evil. You can follow Mike at Fuman2. 2 O's, 2 N's, and the number
Right.
2. At least until he changes it to at Mike Stoltz.
Yeah.
He'll find out that his dad has it. Is what'll happen.
No, Dad has Gmail. He didn't.
Yeah, so come back next week. We're gonna talk to Jeff about fishing.
Crap.
We're gonna tell fishing stories.
Yeah. That'll be awesome.
It's gonna be a good time.
That's good. Yeah.
We
I enjoy
good?
fishing.
You want? Okay, we're gonna cut out now. You got anything you want to say to end the show with, Jeff? Oh, I did have something, and this is what I started to do before at BOBcast Nation. That's why it threw me off, is because I was going to say this. Mike Deskins has won our photo contest.
Mike
Excellent.
Deskins.
Mike Deskins won our photo contest. He entered a photo. He got 2 likes.
He knows Mike Deskins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike Deskins entered a photo into our photo contest, got 2 likes. He wins $20 Amazon gift card.
Wow.
Mike, if you're listening, which was part of the requirement of the contest, you have to listen to the podcast today. But if you're listening, send us an email at buffalobrotherhood@gmail.com. Tell me what email you're interested in, or what email you want to use, or how you want me to get this to you, and I'll send you the Amazon gift card code via email. So listen to the pod, or hope send us the email, and then we'll go. Come back next week, guys. We're going to talk about fishing and how it will help you survive the apocalypse, apparently. Probably
Or
not.
just have fun.
Or just have fun.
and relax.
Relax.
It's relaxing.
It's a
When you get all stressed out worrying about
I keep-
conspiracy theories.
Are we not doing music on the way out this time, Mike? Because I'm kind of vamping.
The
here.
guy that owns MichaelStoltz.com owns at Mike Stoltz.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot.
What
Oh,
a
he does
social
leadership
media
stuff.
hog.
Okay. All right.
I don't know who this dude is.
All right. Good night, everybody. Come back
He's-
next week. See you then.
He's annoying.
This is BOBcast.